Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. So that was unveiled in the Xbox Game Showcase that we talked about last week, and we did go over it briefly, but now we actually know what it actually is. So Sega put it out there, and we finally, it's kind of like got an explanation, but it's for people, I guess, that are into PSO2. It's probably still probably got a heap of questions because the whole thing about it is that we thought, okay, they're essentially going to Realm Reborn the title, even though PSO2 is incredibly popular, has been since it came out in Japan originally. They're going to overhaul it graphically and in a lot of ways. And they're kind of doing that, but it sounds like it's going to run simultaneously alongside normal PSO2 as two separate things.
Yeah, two separate universes, right?
Yeah, and because PSO2, I've only played probably PSO2 for about 5 hours or so definitely haven't experienced everything that game has to offer. But in terms of like when you go out to the missions, like they're definitely kind of narrow corridor things with smaller open areas where you're obviously doing your missions and things. Nothing like what we saw in this trailer. So everyone's like, what is going on? So yeah, essentially this New Genesis is what they're calling an open field online RPG. The graphics engine, as we know, and the game systems are completely overhauled. But what's interesting is PSO2 is also getting the overhauled graphics. So it's like, okay, so they're trying to appeal to, I guess, people that like the current form of it, as well as appealing to new people potentially. But they'll coexist, and you can bring your character across, but it doesn't include character growth or your level, experience points, skills, or anything like that. So basically, you can bring your character across and how they look, and probably some other things that are very specific to probably your account, but it's essentially a new character, and I think some people probably enjoy that. It's a chance to like you're not coming across as super powered and in endgame gear and everything. You're just you're the same person, but you're starting from scratch in this new, I guess, version of the game. And yeah, it's just
But
really interesting.
Is it a new version of the game? Is that what it is?
Well,
I don't know.
It's a new stream of the game.
I just feel like if I was making an honest trailer of this, it'd be something like from the country that brought you Kingdom Hearts.
Oh god.
It's just like, what is this? This is like, you're in marketing, right? Without giving too much away, you're in marketing in that space. How would you market this? Like, what? It's like, I read about this stuff more than I ever had before, obviously, because we're doing this, and it's just like, I'm trying to wrap my head about what is this?
The thing is, they don't...
It's like two games where they're different universes, but they're kind of like shared and like mirrored or twin, or... It's so weird.
The thing, though, it's PSO2. I don't think they have to try that hard, because Phantasy Star Online has a very loyal fan base. And
Sure. But why are they doing this? What's the purpose?
I think they're just... Well, you got to think, PSO2, as it is at the moment, other than obviously the console ports, is an 8-year-old game that they've been expanding upon. So this is before they probably even planned on bringing this to Xbox, and I'm guessing it's going to be on the platforms and stuff. But I guess they're creating a new experience, but they don't want to go to the point of saying this is PSO3. This is just like a side story kind of thing. So it's something else that people can play, and the key point, something else people can spend money on.
But I don't understand, because it's still called Phantasy Star Online 2. It's just got the subtitle difference, right?
Yeah, but if you look at the history of Phantasy Star Online, it's the same kind of stuff. So they did Phantasy Star Online, Episode 1, Episode 2. Episode 3 was a card battler. They've done different stuff like this in the past. And they even had Phantasy Star Universe, which was on PS3 and Xbox 360. I actually completed that game.
Okay.
I completed an MMO that's not really an MMO. Like, it's just weird, the history of Phantasy Star Online specifically.
Yeah.
I just wish that at some point they'll actually make another Phantasy Star game, like a single player. That'd be really cool. But hey...
Yeah, well, that's where it originally came from, right? On the Master System.
Yeah, so I played through, I think it's Phantasy Star Online 2, and I think that series could it's kind of what I guess Star Ocean is to modern day. You know,
Yeah.
anything that's like a sci-fi JRPG is kind of cool to me. But
And then also to confuse the message a little bit more, Fantasy Star Online 2. Like, what do you call that? Do you just call it Fantasy Star Online 2? And the fact that you don't say New Genesis infers that you're talking about the one that was released
yeah,
in 2000. I feel like you need to put brackets. You know how now people say Doom 2016? You need to say Fantasy Star Online 2 2012.
well, they are referring to themselves as PSO2 and PSO2 NGS. So when you're talking about like
Okay.
online, that's how people just refer to them. So.
Okay. Yeah, and just to convolute the message a little bit further, PSO2 is coming out to Steam in the next couple of days on August 5th, right?
Yeah, so it's been available through like their own launches and things, I believe, in the Japanese market and potentially other markets as well. So now it's actually just come to Steam, which I think is
Hmm.
that's going to see a huge boost for the community. And I don't know if there's crossplay between Xbox and PC players right now, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's potentially going to be part of it. If not now, then soon enough. Which, with that kind of
Nice.
game, is only going to add to the community. I guess following on from that one, our